Welcome to Charlotte, North Carolina, where we're getting an inside look at the beautiful home of antiques dealer and designer Cindy Smith. As a college student studying abroad in France, Cindy discovered the transformative power of beauty in everyday life. Inspired by that experience and her love of antiques, she founded Circa Interiors and Antiques in 1980, blending timeless European elegance with Southern charm.
I like to accumulate and have around me beautiful things. A lot of them come from my travels over the years, from my experiences, particularly in Europe.
Over the years, her refined eye and deep understanding of design have shaped her home into a stunning space filled with antiques, beautiful architecture, and meaningful collections.
I've changed collections over the years, from porcelain to now I just have an accumulation of shells that came from the Mediterranean.
Today, Cindy continues to create interiors that balance the classic and the new, especially in her gorgeous backyard, featured in the extended cut of this episode. Click the join button below to watch. You're watching Homeworthy, where we believe every home has a story. I'm Allison Kenworthy, the founder of Homeworthy, and we take you inside the world's most beautifully decorated homes and introduce you to the brilliant people who live there.
Hi Homeworthy, I'm Liz Lang. Welcome to Grey Gardens.
Click the join button below to access all of our latest episodes ad-free and watch extended cuts of this and other homes, opening the doors to new rooms and exclusive content featuring our beloved hosts.
I can't wait to see. I'm so excited.
And if you're looking to shop items inspired by this and other Homeworthy tastemakers, be sure to use the product links below or scan the QR code on screen to find fabulous furniture, coffee table books, and accessories that can transform your house into a home.
Hi Homeworthy, I'm Cindy. Welcome to my home in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Hello, I'm Cindy Smith. I live in Charlotte, North Carolina, and I'm an interior designer as well as an antique dealer. I'm originally from a small town outside of Atlanta and moved to Charlotte with my husband and actually taught school for 3 years, but always had a passion for interiors, and that's how I got started. I like to accumulate and have around me beautiful things. A lot of them come from my travels over the years, from my experiences, particularly in Europe. I think I have more of a European lifestyle flair than anything else, if you can label it. But mainly I just gravitate towards objects that are beautiful. I don't particularly decorate with a lot of wallpaper or fabrics, but more just interesting objects. Well, I was lucky enough to have a brilliant architect who's now very well known, Bobby McAlpin. And we had a 65-foot lot, which is very narrow. And so he did an absolutely beautiful job of making sure there was a lot of light and that I used every inch of the house. He did such a fabulous job. So he calls it country French come to town because it has a French feeling, but it definitely has a more urban feel than a country house. It's like a townhouse, actually. It's very shotgun, but with a lot of cross light and a lot of axis of light, so you don't feel that it's a dark, enclosed space at all.
Welcome to my foyer. As you can see, this house was designed for light. The interior of the foyer, the entire foyer has been done in stucco, just like the exterior, so that you feel like you're coming from the outside to the inside without a complete direct cut. I have an accumulation of things that I've bought over the years of travel. This is a beautiful corner cabinet that the architect designed to fit into the wall. And I've changed collections over the years, from porcelain to now I just have an accumulation of shells that came from the Mediterranean. I really try to do something on this table, since it's in the very first thing I see when I come in, and also when guests come. I try to do something seasonal. Now it's about to be October, and so I've got just vegetables. I get a lot of pleasure just having something pretty when I walk in. And Christmas, it's holly and magnolia, and in the spring, it's tulips. The summer, it's sunflowers. So it sets the tone as you enter, and I think that's very important, even if you're not entertaining, to have something that you enjoy when you walk in. As you enter, I have a stone floor, which helps with getting rid of, it also brings the outside in for a little bit of the space. As you go into the interior of the house more, you can see the dining room is actually in the middle of the house. It's not a separate room, and it was designed purposefully this way so that the house has a very wide open feeling from the front door, with the light going all the way through the interior of the house. This is a great spot for special occasions or cocktail parties or buffets, and I've had many beautiful fun parties here. The house was originally designed by a brilliant architect, Bobby McAlpin, and I gave him these doors that I found in Belgium. They're old pine doors that I bought several years before I even intended to build, and had them in a warehouse thinking someone would want to design a house around them. It came with the trim work and the doors. They're old pine, and I never have had to touch them. The finish is exactly the way it was. So when I bought this lot, which is very tiny, skinny little lot, I gave them to Bobby, and I said, I'd love to use these doors. So he took the arch, the subtle arch of these doors, and incorporated it into other features of the house. The arch here, the arch of the doors, and you see it throughout the house. That's been a great feature. I've loved walking in my front door and just being a part of things that I've accumulated over all my travels and over the years. And also the house flows beautifully because it has a circular path for entertaining. I have a painting here that came from a very well-known English artist that I've had for many, many years and loved. There's not a lot of wall space in this house because of the light, so I have to make use of it the best I can. I painted the ceiling just a beautiful old blue-green color. It's a pretty French color, and it sort of lowers this level, so you feel like you're going from very high space to a low space, and it's that feeling of openness that it brings to you. This house is all about the architecture and all about the treasures that I've accumulated over the years.
Actually, when this house was designed, it was designed for me to use every room. I had moved from a colonial house where I had a front of the house and a back of the house, and I wanted to use every room. So it was designed to walk in through the front door every day and enjoy all the things that I had accumulated. I would say, actually, I probably live in this room the most because I have family, I have 6 grandchildren, so I needed a room big enough to accommodate a crowd, and I do entertain a good bit. So I probably use this room more than any. But I particularly love walking through the entry of my house and in the vista coming in every day.
As you enter into the living area, I have another pair of the old doors, and there's a pair that goes also into the kitchen, which if I'm entertaining, I can close. So it makes the flow of traffic go directly into this room. That helps a lot when you have a larger party. But as you know, everybody likes to end up in the kitchen. Also, there's a beautiful little window under the staircase. The architect was very careful that I had light coming from the sides as well as from the front and the back. So coming into the living room, which is the largest space in the house, the ceilings go up to 12 feet, and they're pine that I had stained a very warm color. With the gray exterior, I wanted to bring in some warmth with the pine doors and the pine ceiling that kind of contradict the gray. So I've tried to incorporate warm colors as much as I could. This room I use on a daily basis. I watch TV in here. I have 6 grandchildren. I don't own anything that can be hurt too badly, so they pretty much can do anything they want to in this room. I also have a dog that's very much a part of my life, so he's allowed on everything. These are just things that I have accumulated over the years. I've had this oval mirror for probably 30 years. And another feature that I love is all the light that I get in this room, even the light, which I have neighbors that are very close by. So the light comes from up high, and yet I still have the privacy. So that works beautifully. And as you can see into the kitchen area. It's not open to it, but it is, you get a visual. So that also is an area that I've accumulated things over the years. I've collected a lot of hotel silver from my travels, and I actually really do like to cook. So it's very much a working kitchen. As you go through the living area into a bar, you notice the arch here and the deep walls behind which are cabinets. And this is the exit to the outside. So there's a nice flow through the house. This is a breakfast room, which many a dinner party we've had here. My friends love this. They get in this banquette and they don't want to come out. So, and I can get 10 people around this. Now, as you enter the kitchen, you can see it's not a big, grand, large kitchen, but it's very functional. The cabinets are Pecky cypress that have been stained. The stove was sort of the star of the show. It's a LeConte stove, and it's a big one. And Bobby designed this big stainless steel hood and the marble, and it's just a very functional stove. It works wonderful. I've had it for 35 years. So, and then I keep all my stuff everywhere. I think I'm a hoarder. I like things, and I love to entertain. Behind the doors are cabinets that have the storage, and that's a pantry. And then I have the 2 stainless steel small refrigerators. So it works very well. It's very functional, and I actually really like to cook. I started collecting hotel silver on a lot of my travels. It started with little teapots, and then it's grown, and I use everything that I have. I actually use it all. So it works well. And hotel silver is not as precious, so it's very hardy. I mean, you can use it and not worry about it, and it's not as formal. So I love using that. The countertops are blue stone, and they're 2 farm sinks. This is an old, was called a drapery table. It was probably in a shop in France, and I had the marble top put on it so that I could have a lot of my pottery and my cookware and things very close by.
And I've been an antique dealer for over 45 years, so when I see something that's special and beautiful, I tend to want to bring it home. I brought the beautiful doors that you'll see in a minute from Belgium. Didn't have a place to put them, but I didn't want to leave them there. So I just like to accumulate things that are beautiful that I think sort of remind me of nostalgic, sort of homey feeling that I like to have. I don't want anything perfect. I want it to look lived in and very warm and inviting.
Now let's head into the library. And this is the library. This is actually more of my wintertime room. I come here a lot in the winter because the padded walls make you feel like you're in a very warm space. And this is where I have pictures of my children, my grandchildren, and this is a very personal space. The fireplace was designed, and I think Bobby actually won an award for the way the fireplace extends from the house so that I get all this natural light. But this is a very cozy, warm, inviting room. It's usually just for myself or maybe one other friend if we want to sit down and have a serious talk. The rug is a Tabriz rug. It's a Persian rug. It's very rare because the coloring is an unusual color combination for those types of rugs. This is my dog, Queenie. Oh, she takes precedent. The sofa is part of my catbird collection. I have a small custom upholstery line that several of my architect friends helped me do designs. Bobby McAlpin designed this sofa. And I have designs from several really great architects that did designs for my little upholstery line. One of my favorite things in this room are the drawings that my grandson has done for me. He started drawing these when he was 14. So he's very gifted, and he likes to draw with pen and ink, and I've just framed them over the years, and he keeps giving them to me, and I just keep propping them up on this wall. I think they're really fun, and they mean a lot to me. So that makes it personal. These are engravings that I've had for many, many years of architectural buildings, which are an interest of mine. So, I just wanted something sort of graphic in here with all the other personal items. And off of the library, there's the powder room, which also leads back out into the foyer. And this little powder room is very small, so I tried to make it interesting by lowering the ceiling with the trim and doing the mirror above, and then the wallpaper, which is Foyer by Brunswick and Fee, 35 years old. And it's still good. I still love it. This is an old Belgian mirror that looks like wood as well. It's like a wood carving that kind of goes with the theme of the room. So it's a pretty interesting little powder room when you come in. This little room it was a box. It's just a box. So I needed to make it interesting, and I found this wallpaper which I thought looked like a little forest, and it enclosed you and made you feel cozy and a little dramatic when you came in. So I chose it for that reason. I wanted a little drama, and lowering the ceilings down, boxing it in, it gave you a little bit interest when you come in the room. It's charming.
My children were older when we moved in this home, and I've had beautiful parties here when the engagement parties and rehearsal dinner parties, and just entertaining here has been such a joy because it flows so beautifully, and you can open the doors and the access to the outside. It just gives you a very comfortable feeling. It's not a very big house, but it lives like it's a larger house than it is. So I would say the entertaining that I've done, the special moments over the years.
Now back through the library and entering the master bedroom, which is right off of the library and into the kitchen and living area. Coming into the master bedroom, the double doors give you a nice wide entrance and the gentle arch again. It's a very light, bright room on the actual front of the house. So this room's very comfortable. I love being on one floor. There's so much ease about living on one single floor. It has another gentle arch opening into my little dressing table and the windows, a walk-in closet, and then the sinks and the bathroom are off of this wing. So it's just very functional. Nothing fancy, but very functional. I think the way that this was designed with some architecture that keeps it from being just a big boxy room adds a lot of interest to the room. It separates the functional area here from the actual bed space, and it's a nice little area to do all the functional things through here, and then keeps the bed in another area, but also all one big one when you look at it. So it's on the front of the house, so I pull the drapes at night, and it's very cozy. The pillows are old Aubusson pillows that I've had for years and years that have been, that I just have always loved. Pieces of an old Aubusson rug, an old French Aubusson rug that I had made into pillows. And as I've said, I just like to collect pretty things, and I don't necessarily pick a color palette and have an actual scheme going. I just go with what I like, and it all seems to accumulate and work together in the end. This is my mother. Her name was Polly, and I have cousins named Polly and a grandchild named Polly because we all honor her that way by carrying on her name. And she's sort of the reason I think I've always had an aesthetic towards beauty, and she was certainly my role model.
Just relax and don't try to be perfect, and don't try to match everything up. Designing should be like your lifestyle and the way you live. So I think imperfection is a beautiful thing, and things just tend to fall into place if you don't color match everything and have one print, one geometric, one solid. Just accumulate and mix textiles. I like natural fibers, so just mixing textiles and just being a little more organic and impromptu rather than too studied.
And going up the steps, you can see, you get a feeling of elevation from the lower. It's sort of like a hanging ceiling here, and then you go up, and you get a great view from the top up here of the entire foyer, which makes the house look a lot larger than it really is. But it's the use of space that I think makes it feel much bigger. This is the guest bedroom that used to be my son's room, and then he left. So now it's a guest bedroom. As you enter, double doors again give you a nice feeling when you come into the room. This room has an old English wallpaper that just kind of makes it instantly cozy. I also put the trim a little bit lower so it gives you more of an intimate feeling. Pretty little French single bed that I found somewhere over the years that a child can sleep on. And then this is just a guest bedroom with, I guess the feature of fabric in here is this beautiful rubelli, sort of a mannish, sort of a handsome room, I think. And then lots of etchings of dogs because I'm a big dog lover. The staircase was designed, I used a very, very simple wood rail that brings this kind of honey-colored wood back in, and the gold stair runner that kind of tries to warm up this area because of all this stucco, which is a very hard surface. So it makes the contrast of these colors makes it warmer.
I did start out teaching school, although I don't think I was very good at it. So, and I always had a passion I lived in France the summer before I got married for 3 months and had wonderful excursions every weekend. We would go to different homes and live with families. So I sort of got used to that lifestyle of casualness, but making something a little special. And I loved the way that felt. My mother was always quite an entertainer, being a Southern woman and, small town. So I got a lot of that from her. And then I just decided I was beginning to buy things for my home. So I decided I would, research how to buy antiques. And I began to buy things in Charleston and bring them back in the back of my car. And then I would bring a whole truckload in the back of, and hook up a U-Haul. It accumulated over the years, and then opened a store, and it was instantly successful because I don't think there was anything like it in Charlotte at the time. So I think timing was great, and then it just grew from there. I would sell them a sideboard, and they would want me to come see it, and then they'd want to know what to do with the room, and I gradually got into more interior design. So and I've always surrounded myself with beautiful, smart, kind people, and then that makes a big difference in enjoying it. So I've loved every minute of it. When I come home every day, I'm renewed. It renews me to walk in and be surrounded by beauty and have a comfortable place to refuel every day after a hectic day. It's just very calming to me to be surrounded by things that mean something to me and that I've accumulated, and to have it be just a place to renew my spirit every day.
Thanks for watching. Be sure to go to homeworthy.com for exclusive content, shopping guides, and so much more.